I sponsor a distributor. If that distributor is not a supervisor, and I am, then when that distributor makes sales, I have the potential of getting a sales commission on those. What's a sales commission? Any other industries that that's pretty common in?
Yeah, like if you were to sell a car or something like that, you know, a commission is just another form of profit in the business, and we call commissions, it's more of a wholesale profit. Because if I'm a supervisor and I'm selling my products to my distributor, well, he's already at a discount level, I'm at a certain discount level, and the difference between our discount levels is the commission that I'm going to make. So we can make our product from actual retail sales, selling it full price to a customer, or a wholesale commission when I'm selling my products at a discount to a distributor of mine. So that's where we can get those forms of incomes.
So, and don't get too buried in the details of that.
There's a lot of
that's
details.
basically, here's the one point on that. That's a direct sales-based profit or commission. That's directly based on your sales or the sales of your immediate non-supervisor distributors. Now, if you don't understand that all, that's okay. Just understand the first point, sales-based. And as you learn and as you grow, study more about the marketing plan. When you go to the success training seminars, they'll teach you more. Herbalife has got a fantastic video on the sales and marketing plan. And as you grow in your business, you can study that in the career manual. I think for me to really fully understand all of the marketing plan took a year and a half or 2 years.
It's kind of a need-to-know basis. That's the way I look at it. It's kind of like, okay, sometimes when I hear information and it seems a little overwhelming to me or not quite grasping all of it, I think, well, you know what, there'll be a time when I need to know that. When I need to know that, I'll figure it out. Right now, what do I need to know? So I take what I need to know at the time, and as I'm stretching and growing and learning more, then I grasp the things that I need to know as they come down the road.
Absolutely. Okay, and then the second form of income is what we would call royalty income. Now, we mentioned that briefly. Royalty income is the income that has a potential to be truly residual in the way Cindy described before, meaning you can do the work and continue to get paid after the work is done. Provided you do it right, you can get paid potentially forever. How do you get paid royalty? Herbalife pays us royalty based on the volume produced by any supervisors we sponsor. Now, if you're not yet a supervisor, go study and find out what you need to do to get there. We're not going to get it. You can find that training on some of the other resources we mentioned about the marketing plan. But as you now become a supervisor, and you sponsor other people who become supervisors, the amount of volume they produce, Herbalife will pay you a percentage of their sales and a royalty every month. You're eligible for that. That's pretty phenomenal. The main difference you need to know about those two incomes at this point is that the sales, the income based on sales is really the amount of money you can make is dependent on how many customers you personally service. The more you service, the more income potential. Now, the royalty income has a pretty unlimited potential. By the end of this segment, you'll see why. It's because the power of duplication can really be developed in the royalty income. We'll show you in a little bit how that grows. Okay?
And just to expound on that point again a little bit too, is the sales are what you personally do, the royalties are income that you make from what other people, the efforts that other people do. So the sales commissions are basically your efforts, the royalty incomes are coming from your supervisor's efforts. And again, we'll show you how that all works in that power of duplication.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Royalties can come from the volume produced by your team of supervisors, where sales-based income comes from your team of consumers. Let's talk about that. Well, let's look at how this all works. There are three things each one of us can learn to do in this business. Now, if you learn how to do one of them, you'll get great product results. If you learn how to do two of them, you can create a really nice income for yourself. If you learn how to do all three of them, you can get rich. Okay? So the first thing we all need to do in this business is use the products. Now, I'm going to tell you, take a lot of notes here. Number one, use the products. This is a very key foundation to your ability to accomplish your goals in this business. Now, when we talk about use the products, there are a couple of different reasons why we want to use the products. But one is just because of the health and the lifestyle benefits we get from them. I mean, these products have changed my life. They've changed, probably many of you right now are saying, yeah, they've saved my life, but they're phenomenal. So that alone is a reason to use the products. But then from a business standpoint, is when you use the products, the results you get teach you, that's the best training you can get on what these products do, is what they've done for you. You get a personal story that if you tell that story of what the products have done for you the rest of your life, you'll always be able to find customers the rest of your life. It's foundational. Plus, you'll also be able to help someone else get results.
And I think using the products is probably the simplest part of this business. I was a customer before I actually came into the business, because so I love the products. That was a no-brainer for me. But to me, when we first started the business, that was one of the fundamental things that our sponsorship told us too, was you need to use the products. And we kept hearing that theme over and over and over again, from people who were very successful in the business. Always the number one thing to do in this business was use the products. And to me, again, that's the easiest part of this business. I can do that. I have complete control over what I put into my mouth or on my body. And when they told me I needed to do that, I did that. And there have been times that we sponsored people into the business who say they want to build a business, and they say, I really want to build the business, but I do not want to use those products, or I don't need those products, or I'm willing to take one or two products. And we really, really wrestle with them on that, because our belief is that if you really want to succeed in this business, you have to take the products. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Oh, that's foundational, too. Remember, we're in the fundamentals of the business here is what we're talking about. And that is a foundation. And this business is different, probably, than any other business that most of us have experienced. So for me, that was a little bit confusing. Why do I need to use the products to succeed? It didn't make sense to me. Because other businesses I've seen, I thought people could make it without, they don't necessarily have to be users of their own products. Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't understand it, just trust it, because in this business, that is a foundation. That is, you will not be able to reach the full potential. I don't think you could go anywhere very far at all in this business. I don't know any successful person in Herbalife who hasn't used the products. Do you?
No, it doesn't happen. So it is a
foundational must.
It's a fun, simple, magical sort of thing. Taking the products is fun, it's simple, and it is magical. And we're going to show you really in detail how that's going to translate into how you can build wealth into your own life with these products.
So those are a couple of reasons to use them. For your own personal health and lifestyle, then so that you know how to help other people get results on the products. And then there's a third reason that is really important. And I think maybe you've been in your business for a while. I think we were in our business for about two and a half years before we understood this third reason we all need to use the products. And this reason is absolutely critical to us reaching our full potential in this business. And that is because it supports the company that pays us. Okay? And let's talk, don't brush this one off. This is really important for, number one, you to learn, and then for your whole organization to learn. This is an area, I'm going to give you an example, and we're going to give you kind of a diagram, flow chart to show you how this works. But this is what I'd write this one down. It's called shifting consumer spending. Okay? How does this all work? You started this business for a reason. You have some kind of whatever your reason for starting this business is what I will call your dream. Okay? So write down, if you haven't written that down, we'll talk about that a little later. But what is your reason, and what will it take for you to achieve your dream in the business? Well, it's going to take some kind of an income, some kind of money. All right? Now, you've seen people being able to make all kinds of income in Herbalife, and that's what I call dream money. Okay, the money necessary for us to get our dreams. And we get that from the company. But here's my question is, where does Herbalife get the money, the dream money, to pay us for? So let's kind of talk about that for a minute. Now, before Herbalife, before you ever heard of Herbalife, you weren't using any of the products, right? I wasn't either. But there's a certain amount of